5 days. That's how long I spent making my last YouTube video. Writing it, recording it, editing it, fixing things nobody would probably ever notice. I finally published it and I got 4 views. Honestly, for a moment, I wondered if I was wasting my time. But then I started asking myself a different question. What does 4 views actually tell me? When you start YouTube, you don't imagine this part. You imagine the ideas. You imagine people watching. And maybe you imagine getting monetized. Then you actually start. And reality hits. You spend 5 days making something and YouTube gives you 7 views. Or in my case, 4 views. And after a while, that number starts feeling like more than a number. You start asking, do people actually want this? What if this channel never grows? And I think that's where the real danger begins. Because low views don't just disappoint you. They can change the way you see yourself. You look at another creator who started around the same time. They're getting hundreds, then thousands. And you're sitting there staring at 4 views. So you start looking for an explanation. Maybe they're more creative. Maybe they're better at this. Maybe I just don't have what they have. And eventually the question changes. It stops being, why didn't this video work? And becomes, maybe I can't make YouTube work. And that's a much more dangerous question. Because the 4 views weren't the only thing bothering me. It was the 5 days behind them. 5 days of working on something after everything else in my life was already done. And when the result is almost nothing, you start doing the math. If 5 days gets me 4 views, what happens when I spend 5 months? What happens when I spend a year? And what if nothing changes? That's when I realized I was asking the wrong question. Instead of asking, why did this video get 4 views? I started asking, what does 4 views actually tell me? Maybe the idea wasn't interesting enough. Maybe the title didn't create enough curiosity. Maybe the thumbnail didn't earn the click. Maybe the topic was simply too narrow. Or maybe I'm expecting a channel with 54 subscribers to behave like a channel that already has an audience. And that's an important distinction. For views is a result. It isn't a diagnosis. I was treating every low view video like a verdict. For views meant, this isn't working. But that's not what the data actually says. It says, this particular video didn't reach many people. That's it. It doesn't tell me whether the next idea will work. It doesn't tell me whether this channel is doomed. And it definitely doesn't tell me whether I'm capable of building something. It's information. Painful information, but information. And maybe you're in the same place. Maybe your videos are getting 10 views. Maybe you're still waiting for your first 100 subscribers. And every time you upload, you secretly hope, maybe this is the one. Then you check your analytics and nothing happened. So you start wondering whether you should change your niche. Start a new channel. Copy what someone else is doing. Or just stop altogether. I know that feeling because I've already done the last one. I disappeared for 6 months. I'm at 54 subscribers. I'm not monetized. I haven't built a huge channel. I don't know if Stickman Playbook is going to become what I want it to become. So I'm not going to give you some speech about believing in yourself. I don't know the ending yet. I'm figuring it out in public. And that's actually what makes this interesting. So here's what I'm doing. I'm giving myself 20 videos. Not 20 attempts to go viral. 20 experiments. I'm going to test different problems. Different topics. Different titles. Different thumbnails. Different ways of telling the story. And I'm going to track what happens. Which topics get impressions? Which thumbnails get clicks? Which videos actually hold people's attention? Which ideas bring subscribers? And which ones completely die? 5 days of work. For views. Was it worth it? I honestly don't know yet. Maybe that's what starting from zero actually means. You don't get to know whether it was worth it before you start. You have to keep going long enough to find out. I'm at 54 subscribers. 20 experiments. Let's see what happens.